Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to another episode. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with absolutely no one. Actually, Lee is out on a speaking tour for the next couple weeks. So you've got me, and I'm going to share some information, some ideas for you from my book, which is entitled Done, How to Work When No One's Watching. And today we're going to talk about SMART goals. And you've probably heard about SMART goals before, because if you look on, let's say you look on Google and you like, how can I achieve goals? And you know what'll come up? SMART goals, the SMART goal format. That comes up much more often than anything else. And SMART goals they're a good idea, but they could just use a little tweak. So just as a reminder, SMART is an acronym that stands for a goal that is specific, it's measurable, it is attainable, it's realistic, and it has a time frame. It's time bound. You have a definite deadline. Boom. So if you wanted, let's say you wanted to lose 10 pounds, whoops, that's very specific. And you want to have a measurable, it's measurable, right? 10 pounds. 10 pounds is 10 less than I am today. Is it attainable? Yeah, if I do the right things, sure. Is it realistic? Yes, 10 pounds is much more realistic than if I said I want to lose 100 pounds by Friday. And is it time bound? Sure. Set up a time. I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Hey, I don't know how excited you are to lose those 10 pounds. So that is what a SMART goal would look like. Now, you could do this for anything. I want to write a book. I want to get a promotion at work. I want to get a new job. You can do that for all types of goals. Now, I think that the SMART goal format breaks down when you get to the attainable and the realistic. Because let's think about it. Is your goal attainable? Yeah, it probably is. But some of the best goals in the world are goals that didn't seem attainable. Okay, I want to be the champion of the world at this. Is that attainable? Nope, you're going to get naysayers that say no. Well, somebody's going to be the world champion. So wouldn't it make more sense to think about, well, hey, I could be better than that? I mean, merely choosing to be attainable, to me, kind of holds you back. It's the same thing with realistic. If I say, oh, you know what? Is it realistic for me to do that? No, I probably couldn't. I couldn't be the world champion. So I'm not even going to try. It's just not realistic for me to even think that I could do that. So I suggest taking those two out of the SMART acronym. Take out attainable and realistic because those hold you back. And instead put in action, as in action plan. And for the R, put in response plan. So now you're going to have action and response instead of attainable and realistic. So what's that action plan look like? Well, you want an action plan of how you're going to achieve your goal. So you've got this very specific, measurable, time-bound goal, but you don't have an action plan. So put a plan together. What are you going to do and how? What are the small steps you're going to take to get to that big goal? Now, you think about someone that their goal is to run a marathon. You can go and find any number of plans for learning to run a marathon. Running from you're like the person that can't ever run to, hey, in 6 months, a year, you're running a marathon and you do it in this specific order. That's the same thing you want when you're attaining any goal. Put together an action plan. What am I going to do? What do I do today? What do I do tomorrow? What do I do the next day? That way, you have a clear path to see where you're going. You'll be able to see where you've been, and you'll be able to keep that goal in mind. Now, a response plan, well, at first glance, a response plan feels kind of like, oh, really? Things are going to go wrong? Yes, they're going to go wrong. unfortunately always go wrong. So if you have a plan ahead of time, then when this problem shows up, this hurdle, this obstacle that shows up and gets in your way, you already know what you're going to do. Now, the easiest way to put response plans together is to sit down and think about what might show up. Okay, so, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. So if you already plan what could happen, then you can plan how you're going to get around it. You can say, okay, if this happens, let's say I'm going to try and run a marathon. If I, twist my ankle, okay, then I am going to do this sort of plan for 3 weeks while it rehabs. So that when you do twist your ankle, you don't all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, I'm just not running a marathon. No, you have this plan. They're known as if-then plans. If this happens, then this is how I respond. Pretty easy. So if you have a goal, you put it in a SMART plan, please think about changing attainable to action plan and realistic, which I think is a terrible thing. Change realistic to a response plan. Now you have a fighting chance to really, really succeed at your goal. So think about that. If there's any goal you're working on, and it doesn't matter if it's for work, for home, for a hobby, for family, put together a SMART acronym, but change the A and the R. Make it action and response. That's it for this week. Be sure and join me again next week for another episode.